we've not worked out the finer details, but experience has shown that, and the information on ground.
That is not totally true, David.
Yes.
I mean, you are in the business of construction. You are in the business of selling property. And you're saying you're not very aware of what it is.
For this specific
I mean, think about it today, yes.
I'm referring to this specific project because one, it would be unfair for me to say this is the price.
Assumption. Let's work on possibilities here, because plus minus, it will go up. It may come, very unlikely come down.
Plus minus, that one-bedroom house, we are looking at a price of between 35 million to 40 million. And the plan that we have for owning this home is through a mortgage that will be at a discretionary interest rate from this person that is intending to finance.
Assuming that the interest rate will do about, at the lowest, 17% per annum.
Actually, 17% is on the high side. Our target is to get this house, the fund that are coming in, that will be channeled through a local bank, from which the residents will be able to obtain.
Hold on, I have a caller. Hello, I hope a resident.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Kireka Banda.
Yes, sebo. Kale sebo.
Ompulira.
Tukuwulira sebo.
Kati kyembuuza nti omuntu bino bye boogerako kati nga banene abatuba abali emuntu munnange temukukosa kuba okugendayo likimizo lyanakwata ekkubo n'agendayo wajja kufuna obuzibu. Kituufu ffe tunaakola tutya okufuna security eyo okubeera nga tetufuna buzibu.
Okay. Twanza. David, coming back, we'll answer the gentleman from Kireka.
Yes, like I was explaining, this house between 35 and 40 million at an interest rate that we're negotiating to come to as low as 10%. We intend that this loan is, this mortgage is paid over a period of 18 years, and in paying over 18 years, we see a prepayment amount in terms of installments. We would want it to be as low as possible, maybe even below 1 million shillings. That's what we're looking out for.
Hold on here. We are thinking. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening to you.
Your name, question or comment?
My name is Clayton Omona.
Yes.
I want to advise that national water, national housing and construction should come up with a program which is standard. Now, the question of whether people will afford it or not should be looked at separately. And in this case, if there are people who will not be able to afford, they should pay them off a certain amount for the development that they have made, and let these people relocate to somewhere else.
Okay.
We must come up with a program which will come to the standard of a city, and therefore we must accept that change must come in. It may be very painful, but we must accept that change has to come in. And therefore, people are going to be affected. If they can't afford to pay, let them be paid some money and they get out of the place. But we need organized place. That is the first principle. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you make your point. And we'll take the next two callers and then come round to both those issues. Hello? Hello? Yes, you're live on Issues at Hand. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Kale sebo.
Tusimanye empereza ya mwesebo.
Yes, sebo. Ekibuuzo kyoba comment? Okay. David and Among, yes, we get to the issue. Two things. One, that we've arrived at a possible repayment of 1 million shillings per month.
Yes.
What income range are you looking at? Have you shared the statistics with UBOS and looked at which type of clientele you're dealing with?
Can I interject a bit? I need to clarify here that since this is a slum redevelopment, you mentioned very well earlier on that in slum redevelopment, you deal with the people who are in that place and try as much as possible to include them in the planning. So whereas you said minus and plus, these prices could actually come down based on the physical. Now we're dealing on plus and minus, but if we go down there and look at this person in a tin roof like we are describing, we might just come up with a better option that will still make that place look better, because this is a mixed development. We're not only going to have a certain class of houses there, because if we do, we shall have left out these people who are in those tin roofs. But every society needs all classes of people. Whereas you may be able to have a nice flat, you will still want to buy tomatoes. You're not going to sell those ones to yourself. You will need a market. So people have to be in that place that will also offer you some services that you need from them. And of course, there are also the good things that come from you being in that area that will trickle down to them. So that's what we are looking at in Kireka. So that also comes to the issue of affordability that the gentleman was talking. We thank Mr. Clayton Omona very much for his contribution.
He seems to read from your script.
He does, but somehow we can't leave the issue of affordability out when we are talking about slum redevelopment. If we are just going to build on any other land that we have, where we never had people already living there that we need to include on the program, would totally disregard affordability and come up with structures that any other person out there would buy. But our first priority, and I want to emphasize this in this project,
is it a realistic business priority?
It is, because look at it this way.
Because really, I mean, it sounds good to tell people that you're going to be our first line of client. How many people of these people that we are talking about would afford to give you 500,000 per month times 18 years?
Well, look at it this way.
For a two-roomed house, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. 500,000 for a two-roomed house. After 18 years, you own it. Possibly after 18 years,
it's not going to be absolutely free.
No, it isn't free. But I'm saying.
Yeah, but they also have their equity, which you're not looking at right now. So, Mr. Chibazo, if you're living in a house right now, whatever roof is there right now, and say it is valued at about 20 million. When we give you a house, like you were saying, okay, plus minus of 30 million, you're going to pay 30 million. So
I have the 20 million valued at
exactly as the equity in that project already. So you're going to pay the difference between the actual price and what your
if I want out. If I want out,
we are going to compensate them. We are going to everyone is going to be valued really, and we are going to compensate. There's also another category in that place. Ones who have their very nice structures, well-built, quality houses. We have no plan of bringing down such structures. We are going to allow them to also, of course, they're going to also pay something, and then they get a title. So this is not a project where you just go and take a grade at night and remove people. No, we are going to talk to them like he was. I think he explained earlier on. We have that free space which you very well brought out here on the screen, and thank you very much for that, because we have been asking where is the free space, and it's actually there. We are going to first have that as a holding ground, put up houses there. There are three categories of people we are talking about here. The ones who are going to choose to remain in the project, because we are going to allow them to decide whether to stay or to leave. If you choose to leave, we shall compensate you and you live in peace. If you choose to stay, there are two categories of people still staying. The ones that have their well-built houses that are going to pay some money to attain the titles for their area, and those people do not have much work to do because they have already done their work and they're just doing a little bit more here. Now, the others are the ones who are going to stay in that project. It's going to be a phased development. We're not going to go and develop the whole of Kireka.
And how many years are we looking at? For the 290 acres to be done.
Our project timelines, we're looking at once we complete this